Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch List for Thursday, December 22nd, 2011. Let's take a look at Wednesday's action, some stocks to watch. Now, on the S&P, this comes out as a pause day, even though we closed above, at least above the close. Did we close above the high too? Yeah, we closed above the highs from Tuesday in Wednesday's session, but we were down for most of the day, and we hit into support and then got a nice bounce. So more about that when you go to the S&P video on the blog. All right, so I'm still watching to see if we could tag this 200-day moving average. I think we're gonna. I'm gonna be watching to see if we can get some follow through to the upside. I like to see downside early and a turnaround, and I'm going to be watching this trend line as well as the 200-day moving average. Now, the news was Oracle. So NASDAQ 100 was down pretty sharply at one point, about 2% even late in the afternoon. But if you run a fib grid here, you can see that we went down just below the 78.6% retracement of this little two-day swing, and then we wound up closing back above it. Now, this is what I like to call a mini coil. All right, now it's a little wide, but it still represent volatility contraction. Now, if Thursday is a pause day, okay, that'll set up a nice coil for a move Friday, which, I mean, right ahead of the holiday. I don't know if we're going to get it, or next week, moving to next week. Now, this is good enough to watch for a move, and this is neither bullish nor bearish where it is right now. It's really just a wait and see which way the market is going to tip its hand here. Now, if the broad market is going to go higher, the NASDAQ 100 doesn't have to go with it, but I mean, it's going to be really, really tough to go far if the NASDAQ 100 is going to lag. So, we'll see what happens here. We have the moving averages, and like I've been saying, I don't know if they're really strong resistance here since they're sideways, and we've been going through them, back and forth through them. So let's see here. We still have this projected trend line may hold as support if we go down, and then on the upside, if we get through the moving averages, they may slow it down, but the real level to watch is above this last high from the beginning of the month. Okay, I'll take a quick look at Oracle, just for discipline. Big gap down, and notice that it held, for now at least, the lows down here from August. All right, the Russell. Okay, the Russell had a green day. I mean, nothing super, but hey, it didn't get dragged down with the tech mess. Okay, and you can see here we're coming up to this projected trend line. So if we can get through that, watch for a move to the 200-day moving average there. Semiconductors, down 1.19%. More importantly, in my opinion, is this trend line. Even though we have washed through it both ways, I really want to see how we act here. All right, see if we can get a lift there. We're just going to lose it. Banks had an okay day, up 1%. Bank of America seems like only 2 days ago it was under $5. Oh, it was actually under $5. That's a real bad attempt at a joke, but anyway, you can see here back above the $5 range. I don't want to say firmly back above the $5 number, because it's I don't know if it's going to stay there, but getting a little bit of a bounce here. Northern Trust is one I've been watching. Still hasn't broken out here. You can adjust the little trend line here if you want to. Still hasn't gotten a break, but I think if the financials lift, this is what I want to hone in on, because I think it's a nice coil, and it's showing okay relative strength. It's over all the moving averages except the 200-day. Citigroup does not look so sharp. JP Morgan, a little better, but no big deal. Here's the broker-dealer. Right, down 0.25%. Goldman, had a nice day comparatively, right, relatively, up just over 1%. So this does not look impulsive, though. This looks corrective, right? The volume's dying, just like a little lame bounce. So unless something changes here, this is really not looking good here into the end of the year. All right, so I'm looking for the 200-day moving average to be tested on the S&P 500, and then from there, it's really time to take another look and see if this can really get going here, because the I don't know what you want to call it, right? It's like the dog wags the tail, right? So what's the dog? Is the dog the index? No, the dog, in my opinion, is the stocks. The stocks wag the index, obviously. Okay, the index doesn't trade, and then how the index trades, the stocks react. The stocks trade, and the index reacts. So anyway, whatever. So this not looking so sharp here. It's going to need a turbo boost up through these short-term moving averages, maybe test the 50-day, but that doesn't happen. This is declining volume, and it just looks like a dead rat bounce there. All right, cyclicals. Yeah, not a terrible day, but nothing great. GLD is still kind of hanging around that 200-day. SLV continuing to consolidate here. I mean, the longer this doesn't fill this gap here, the better of a chance it has of moving lower. So it's something to keep in mind. USO, this is the oil index night. This is how I look at oil now instead of OIL, because this trades much thicker. So you can see back over the moving averages. That's good, 1 3/4% nearly. I mean, that's a nice move here, but has to get above these highs, has to get above 40 to start kicking in. Got a couple of random oil stocks here. Exxon, yeah, nice push here, right? It held the 200-day, test, and then boom. Nice push, see if we can try for these highs here. But 85 and change. Here's ConocoPhillips. Yeah, the 200-day is resistance. So watch that one. But Halliburton, yeah, watch the 50-day. Schlumberger, not doing much here under the moving averages. All right, glamour stock time. Let's look at Apple. We're a little slow today. All right, so Apple back up to the top of this range here. All right, we broke lower, consolidated, then we popped back up. So watch for this thing. Watch for this to get over 100. I'm sorry, over 400. Wow, apologies there. Yeah, it's already over 100, Tiny. You did good at predicting that. All right, let's see if it can get over 400. Watch these highs up here in the 410 area. It's 409 and change. All right, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, not a nice day, but I've been talking about this, how I want to see it retest the wick here. So let's see what happens with this one on Thursday. If this can consolidate early in the day and try to get a lift here. Okay, here's Google. Yeah, it's just kind of oscillating around here, around the recent highs. Somebody wanted me to look at Baidu. Yeah, it does not look good. Does not look good at all. Kind of sitting around at this gap, but yeah, down 4% and change. I mean, it's just not looking so sharp here. And I believe, just by an eyeball, that it's below the 78.6. No, it is not. Wow, good thing. That's why they don't play the game on paper, right? So it held the 78.6% retracement for now. All right, but if it breaks through this, watch for a retest of the lows. If not, it could get a last stand here, trying to bounce into the moving averages. Sina, you say Sina, I say. All right, it's terrible. Sorry, I'm in a singing mood, listening to Christmas carols all day. So this was a nice reversal candle, and right now we're kind of testing into it. As long as this holds, this may offer an opportunity if we get a bounce. I mean, but these moving averages are coming down at a pretty sharp pace here, so I'd watch these as resistance, the 10 and even the 20 EMA there. Okay, Sohu, yeah, it's not looking great. Ren is a piece of garbage, man. Wow. How about Dang? Yeah, also horrible. I'm watching both of those for January effect possible moves because they're so beaten. All right, Research in Motion, takeout rumors, blah blah blah, big gap up. and then sold back a little bit. Okay, here's Alcoa. Not looking sharp here under all the moving averages. Las Vegas Sands getting a nice little bounce, but watch the 200-day or the top of this channel, which is really not that clean since we have the break up here. Visa is looking okay. Had a pause day on Wednesday. See if it can continue higher. What else was I wanted to look at? MDVN was one that I put out as 4 stocks to watch. See, it started going higher, but then this was definitely not a nice candle on Wednesdays. Watch yourself there. How about, what is that? I never get it correct there. What is it? HSTM. Yeah, there we go. Okay. HealthStream. All right. Popped beautifully out of this pattern. Really nice move. And the spinning top up here. So that always concerns me. When there's not commitment, that's when a pullback can rear its ugly head. Here's Aria out of this little pattern, but not doing much. And then Hans did not break. Came up for one day, came back down, but now it's forming a little mini coil here. So see if this one can lift and get to 100. All right. I still like these if the market moves. Obviously, these didn't have to. HealthStream didn't have to wait for the market to bounce. I mean, it actually ripped. It broke on Monday, and then it ripped on Tuesday with the trend day, and then even today it was up, even with the market not doing so well. So anyway, let's see what happens here with the NASDAQ 100. Okay, I want to see if the S&P 500. Hang on one second while I fix this. I want to see if the S&P 500 can continue higher and at least test the 200-day and this lower trend line, and then from there, obviously, it's time for reevaluation because financials are not looking so hot. They're looking more like pause patterns, continuation patterns to the downside. So that'll definitely have to change. And of course, NASDAQ 100 now acting like total crapola after the Oracle earnings. So see if that can recover. All right. Have a great trading day on Thursday. Talk to everybody again on Friday.